Denise, how did you get to be the mistress of ceremonies for this conference?
Well, that's a great question. I work with Marjay Etheridge, who's one of the co-conveners of the event, and she lives in Atlanta, Georgia. We've worked together on a number of projects in the last 4 years. And when she decided to do this event together with the other co-founders, called me and said, we have an opportunity for you to be up there in service. And she knows that I love to give and that I run a nonprofit and work in a lot of other humanitarian efforts. And so I said, I would love to come. It's especially easy for me to make the choice to say yes because my family lives up there and I'd love to see my parents while I'm in town.
So what is the most important part of the conference for you?
The most important part of the conference for me here is to be able to meet a lot of new thought leaders in different innovative ways. There are people from other cultures besides Hollywood and publicity and glam and red carpets that I work on in Los Angeles. I also work with a number of other nonprofit organizations as an executive director of one myself. And I find that being here with people that are educated and intelligent and working on a global perspective to bring collaboration to a number of groups together at the same time is very interesting to me. And that's what they're talking about. They're talking about they're having groups where, as they made it, a bunch of eagles that are all in the same room. So I'm an eagle, I'm a dancing eagle. That's the name of my team of people that I work with in Los Angeles. And to have all these eagles come alongside of each other with brilliant ideas is fascinating.
And what's your normal occupation and how does that tie in with this?
Well, I actually have 3 companies. One is a skincare and cosmetic organization of women with Mary Kay Cosmetics where I do skincare and makeup artistry. And I've actually been a top director in the top 1% of that company for 27 years. And I also have a family. I'm a single mom with 3 children. That's my other most important thing. And I'm a publicist and I have a company called Dome Consulting, which is a consulting firm in Los Angeles that is actually international. We have clients from Los Angeles to Texas to Dubai to India to Africa to London to Paris, Canada. And those clients are a variety of corporations, individuals, musicians, performers, keynote speakers. I'm very much enjoying the keynote speakers that are here, and I actually brought one of my clients with me that lives here in the area who's been working with me on doing some of the off-camera interviews and things like that.
How do you feel this conference is going so far?
I think it's wonderful chaos. The reason I say that is because the room is jam-packed, an overflow audience, which is a good thing to have when you're having an event. To have too many people, that's a fun problem to have to play musical chairs and things like that, and orchestrating it and making sure that the most important part that it's what we're doing right now is keeping track of what happened and wanting to monitor what's going on digitally and with the live stream. There have been a number of cameras in the room and people following around because we want to share the information. I look at it as a Cliff Notes version of the most amazing information of a book that you might read.
What has to happen in the conference for you to consider it a success?
Well, I believe it's already a success. I think the most important part is that the collaboration continues after the conference so that we document everybody's information, what they're doing, who they are, what goals and aspirations they have, which is one of the first session that we've done this morning is all about aspirations and what is your aspiration to change the world and how are you going to do that? Are you going to, do aquaponics in Africa? Are you going to, make some changes within your organization? For example, the chief officer at Kaiser Permanente giving a speech on healthcare and empowering people to make it better for the world.
Is there an overall theme to the conference? I know a lot of speakers have spoken about health. Is that the primary concern?
No, I think, well, as you know, the title of the actual event is Franchise for Humanity. So it's anything to do to make a difference for humanity. And we have a variety of topics. Some of the speakers that have already talked have talked about healthcare because we had a panel where that was something that was similar. But later on in the afternoon and tomorrow, it's going to be about leadership. There's going to be information about women, empowering teens, a lot of ways to bring people together. How can we all come together? Because we all have an idea. And I always say, if you have an idea and I have an idea, and this comes from Mary Kay Ash, my mentor, we each only have one idea. But if you share yours with me and I share mine with you, then we each have 2 ideas. And that's what this is about, is we're going to have 50 ideas because there's 50 people here, 50 brilliant people.
So is it about the process? You know what the problems are, you know what the possible solutions are, but you have to have a process to do something about it.
It's not only the process, I think, it's the vehicle on how we're going to get there. So the process, the pathway is not even clear, but at least we know that there is a pathway and that there are people that want to make a ride on that pathway. And whether they want to be in a VW or a Lamborghini, it doesn't matter. They're all on their way.
Well, what are the main problems that you're tackling? What are the big issues here that are of concern?
Well, I think in the morning session, what came about was a little bit about waste and about energy in the most interesting fashion, words that I can't even say. Again, I'm a publicist, I'm a writer, I love to empower people and speak. I hated biology and chemistry class. I still got A's, but I had to work really hard. Some of the people that are here have learned so much about health and education and being able to combine those together, I think is really, really exciting to see. What we have tomorrow is we're talking about, or this afternoon's panel is the Green Energy Council in China. Earlier today we had talking about the participation economy, so how can people participate in Japan and in other countries, and they're looking at really finding a way to negotiate the pathway to make that happen. So for example, the people that are here, that as one of our speakers, Mr. Trent said earlier, each of us is our own community. So each person that's here represents a huge community, a huge following, if you will. I have 30,000 friends on Facebook and Twitter and all that, and when I say that in a loving way. I know all those people. I've met all of those people, except for maybe a few in another country, But for the most part, I know those people. I've built relationships for the last 30 years. And so when I say go about an event or something, people listen. And so that's what these thought leaders are here talking about. How can we succeed, in concert together versus being in our own separate environment and doing a great thing, but nobody knows about it.
Now, when you talk about making the world better, that seems like a pretty big goal. At some point,
it is. It's just like a beauty pageant. When I was Miss California, everybody says, "I want world peace," right? Mm-hmm. But we're really working on it here. We're really working on the opportunity to pass it out through the media. We have so many camera crews here. We have the live streaming. We have education, and it's just the tip of the iceberg of what we can do. But we're working on connecting people so that for the next event, that's what where the word franchise comes from. This is the model. This is the first one, and we're going to take this model and we're going to franchise it everywhere else, wherever people would like to do it.
So after making the connections, then you have to implement it. Is it all about getting action, getting something done?
Absolutely. I think as a mistress of ceremonies that it's not my position to say how that's going to happen from the perspective of our co-founder Mei-Ling Feng. You're going to interview Mei-Li Feng and get an opportunity to hear what her perspective is on how that's going to happen. Mm-hmm. I know my job here was to make sure that everybody was awake and having a good time, and they wanted me to bring the Hollywood entertainment fun, wake up instead of the boring, we're hearing another lecture on how to save the world. So.
And do you have a specific issue that you're specifically involved in yourself among all the big issues facing the world?
That is so nice of you to ask. I actually run a nonprofit organization I founded 4 years ago. It's called Wings of Love International, and I founded after going through some personal things in my life. And what it does, our mission is headquartered in Los Angeles, California. And our mission is to bridge a pathway from abuse. So it's not just domestic violence, but domestic abuse, men, women, and children, families that are going through a difficult struggle in their personal relationships, and finding a pathway from the abuse to emotional health, wholeness, and abundance. And that comes in many forms. And everybody's version of abundance is different. We talked about abundance today. We talked about reaping abundance, starting in the soil. They were actually talking about the soil. And one of the speakers, Ms. Bates, asked, well, when I say reaping abundance, what do you think of? And I raised my hand and I thought of people. I thought that the abundance comes from within people, and that if we have people that are feeling that they are living a rich life, wherever that might be. There's people that live in many other parts of the world that don't have anything about what we have, but they're a lot happier than the people that live let's just say here in Palo Alto, California, and have a lot.
So is it about changing people's attitudes?
It's about well, for my nonprofit organization, it's about, first of all, bringing awareness, because domestic violence and domestic abuse has no zip code. So it happens everywhere in every part of the world, and we're very excited at Wings of Love International to start where we can, which is in Southern California, and grow. And that's what we're doing.
We're just about out of time. Do you have any last minute comments that you would like to make to our vast audience? This is your opportunity to reach out.
Wow, this is so exciting. Well, first of all, I just want to say thank you for having me on your show today. I really appreciate the opportunity.
My pleasure.
And I think the most important thing I would like to share with your audience is thank you, and there's a lot of gratitude for me today. Gratitude for many reasons, because of the opportunity to share my voice, to have a bigger platform, to share with not only the community here or those that are watching, but to know that what I'm doing is making a difference. That somebody wanted me to be here today to help serve the community and to share a little bit of myself and who I am. My mantra is I'm the queen of joy, beauty, and passion, and that comes out in different ways. In different, sometimes I'm editing a book, writing a book, working on a movie, meeting with my clients in Hollywood, talking all this, celebrity and all of that. But the real deal is that everybody has a sign around them that says, make me feel important. And so that's my job, to make other people feel important and to shine the light. So I'm appreciative of the opportunity, and don't go hide your light under a bushel basket. Take it off and shine. Let your light shine all over the world. Thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
Thank
Pleasure.
you. Very nice to meet you.
You too.